we're back, and we are talking about last week. Savannah was on. We were on a show, and Savannah had to curl really slow because she was on the show, and it resulted in some seriously varied curls from what we're used to. So we thought today we'd bring those variations to you and how to achieve those variations and what they. What creates them, and so we are going to show you how to vary your curls. Savannah was also talking about how she wore her curls for the last week, so we'll talk about that during the curling segment so that you can see when she's doing that curl when you do that curl. I think you should talk about what the difference was like.
I definitely think that part of it, and you already mentioned this, but that a big part was, how slow I was going in the curling. So if you rotate more, you're going to get more curl, but also your speed has a lot to do with how much curl you get too. Yeah. I was actually doing a StyleTYME yesterday, and she had the technique perfect, but she just wanted to just speed through her hair like so fast. And if you felt her hair afterwards, like I could have guessed that it was not even very warm. It probably was still pretty cool to the touch. So if you're not allowing your hair to properly heat, then it's not going to be able to take any kind of shape. I always like curling on 375, which is the fourth light out of 5 lights. Jacinda typically likes curling on 325. Are you going to be doing any curling today?
I'm debating. We'll just kind of see what we do.
See what we do?
Yes.
To start off, I'll show you the back. I always split my hair down the center, and then I bring both sides over my shoulders, and I curl back to front, almost in like a brick laid pattern where I'll start low and then high and low high. Just pull my next furthest forward piece and then throw it behind my shoulder when I'm done, instead of using a clip. So that helps save you a lot of time, and you can do that with whatever style you're doing. So like I said, on 375. For this first underneath curl, I'll just do my like traditional curl, I think, the curl that I really like, so that you can see kind of how different the curl was for me in comparison to what I normally do. So I do a pretty full rotation, and then I really draw down the ends.
So you're doing the normal curl right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that this is a pretty normal curl, and then shape it off of my jacket a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that normally looks. Just very like relaxed, but also still has some volume in it.
Yes.
So this is a little bit more of the curl that I was doing on the show.
I swear you had smaller sections, did you?
Some of them were, yeah.
I noticed too that your hair was a lot higher up on the iron. Like it was like kind of close to the tip.
It was really close up to the iron. But you can even see a huge difference between that and this. Like that's a huge difference.
It may not look like as huge of a difference right there, but when you put that
all together,
and you stack them all together, it's like epically different in how
especially
the result looks.
The ends, I feel like that's the biggest part, is finishing the ends or not. Like if I were to do this curl the whole way through and then drop out my ends, it could still come across as like a similar curl, but those ends really just make a huge difference.
Right now, Savannah is working on the back of her head, and we're going to walk you through, if you're getting great curls in the front, how do you get that in the back? So basically, all you need to know is that you're doing the same thing. Look at how she positions her piece of hair very forward, and then she closes and rotates. Let's turn you a little bit this way. Yeah, that's the key thing, is to be moving forward like that. That is so, so key. Don't change anything. But stay close to your head, don't pull out to the side, and don't do other curling iron movements. Just do arm movement. That's it. So do you see how she turns her head just a little bit so she can come around it? But you still have to make sure you're going towards your head. So if you naturally turn your head to see, then you see how if you kind of go to the side or forward, it changes a lot versus coming here. So those are kind of things I see on FaceTime sessions when people are like turning their head to the side and don't realize it. So if you video yourself, you'll see the difference. Right. So let's talk about how much, did you see right there how her variation went so horizontal into so vertical? And that's a big difference.
Yeah, you can see how much volume I started to get here and how it really just leans out towards the bottom.
Yeah.
So that part is where I went vertical. And I I did that because I don't like my ends to have that real Shirley Temple look to them, but I do like having volume through the top and kind of the mid shaft area.
Yeah. So somebody's talking about the back was easier with long hair versus short hair. I think it can be just as easy with short hair. It's just adjusting your mindset. You don't curl it exactly the same. You just stay close to your head and just kind of follow the direction or shape of your head as you're going forward. Almost like if you were combing your hair forward, something like that. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you just know you need to rotate closer to the head when you have shorter hair.
The only difference I think with really short hair is I don't worry about the nape as much of the neck, because whenever I first started curling with this iron, I did have a bob. And I would just not worry about the hair that was through like the nape area of the back of my neck, because you can't really see that anyways. Mm-hmm. And the curls that are on top of it just really hide that area pretty well. So
yeah.
And that's just more of a time trick for me, like a timing trick, not worrying about that hair because it just was a waste of time
consuming.
Really.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to try testing doing the same amount of rotation and the same angle and different speed and see how much that changes the curl.
Okay. So what are you doing this time?
So I'll do slow speed this time.
Okay. Same angle, different speeds?
Same angle, same rotation, different speeds.
Okay.
So everything's the same except
this is going to be so curly. Ugh.
I know.
I know it.
You.
Wrap around. That's the wraparound girl.
Craziness.
Okay, so this is going to be same angle, same rotation as last one, different speed. Also same heat. So this is normal curling speed for Savannah. The other one was slow curling speed. So you can see the difference in length of her hair. Oh my goodness, look at the...
Okay.
Did it go a big difference?
Yeah. So there's...
And you have to understand... Well, yeah. That's,
and that one.
Yeah.
You can definitely see a difference, like how bouncy this is in comparison to how bouncy that one is. Like it's nothing. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's funny.
And if you end up getting too much curl, I'll show you how to change it, because I don't want necessarily to have this super tight curl for the rest of the week. So I can actually just go back over and change my angle a little bit and my rotation, and then I'm really sliding down at the bottom. And if it doesn't loosen up quite as much as I want, because it loosened, just not quite as much, I just tap over with the straightening side.
Yeah.
And then I'll do this one forward facing, since we had somebody asking. I'm curling with my right hand, thumb behind the light still, curved side against my head. This is how I would normally curl, is by closing and rotating back. Only difference is I'm going to flip the iron upside down.
Did you see my little arm pump? I was so pumped because somebody said her hair grew a lot with the power couple, and I was like, yes!
Dude, mine too.
I love that.
Crazy. So I go in at the right at the scalp, rotate right away, and I'm pointing the tip of my iron back towards the back of the room. And then it just gives you the nice lean curl.
Oh yeah, that's why I love it, because it's a lean back curl. I just am obsessed with those. It's funny how I can see those from like an hour
from
away.
a mile away, yeah. So if I wanted this piece to start right at my scalp, I'm just going to make sure that I pull my piece really nice and forward. I'm going to close right at the root and then rotate
Slowly
right
rotate.
away.
Slowly rotate. That hair takes longer to heat up at the scalp because it's, more condensed. It's not used to being curled. It's very healthy, which takes curl slower. Mm-hmm. So just go a little bit slower, and I think that's key. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.